came from the bottom and now we is lit. You was lit, I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hating cause I took no risks. My bitch, she wanna be famous, They act like they made us, You know I'm icy in Vegas, This for the that hate us, I make a lot of new money, When the not save us, You be liking my flavor, I think it's cause ice on the wrist, on the wrist, on the wrist. Watch out, cuz I never switch, I never switch, I never switch, I never switch. Ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist,
I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see a man on his 8th NFL team, Ryan Fitzpatrick, and the Miami Dolphins, as they take on Dak Prescott and the defending NFC East champs, the Dallas Cowboys. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. A moment ago, here was the scene with the Cowboys emerging from their tunnel. It was loud. It's still loud. We're ready for football as the Cowboys get set to match up with the Miami Dolphins. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. It's been a great start to the season, back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Dolphins, they come in at an early crossroads here, facing a tough opponent on the road where a loss would make them 0-3.
And when you start that way, doubts really start to creep into a locker room, and guys start to battle each other instead of worrying about winning games.
It's an Indian summer afternoon. Perfect conditions for football, and off we go on EA Sports. This one fielded at the 5. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. So here to lead out the offense in his first year as a Dolphin, but 15th overall, it's the bearded veteran Ryan Fitzpatrick. And the new coaching staff coming in, they finally decided to pull the plug on the Ryan Tannehill era after 7 seasons and no playoff wins. So enter Ryan Fitzpatrick, signed in free agency, fittingly on St. Patrick's Day, by the way. But last year with Tampa Bay, you remember Fitzpatrick got off to that incredible start. Over 400 yards passing in each of the first 3 games of the year, 11 total touchdown passes. And now it's his time to do it with Miami. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Off the play fake here, Fitzpatrick. And right away, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Cowboys. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This one fielded at the 5. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because
blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now Fitzpatrick. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. They'll look now at the Miami offense.
I remember when Laramie Tunsil was coming out of Mississippi and I was evaluating him for the draft in 2016. I ended up writing down a description that I tended to like, and I'm going to use it here now. He's got feet like a receiver. He's got a body like an offensive lineman and hands like a boxer. Put it all together, you got a heck of an offensive lineman.
Now Fitzpatrick. He'll set up the screen to Drake. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 8 yards on the screen there, not enough. And it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
The Cowboys take over with their 4th-year quarterback, Dak Prescott, at the helm. The passing yards a career high last year, close to 3,900, but protection was a problem for Dak Prescott. His 56 sacks taken were one fewer than his previous 2 years combined. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. Here's the man who's led the league in rushing twice in 3 seasons, Ezekiel Elliott. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. The numbers for Zeke from last week. 11 carries, 75 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, he's the number 2 runner in the league, and you just know the offensive line wants to get him to number 1 because most of the good ball carriers, they take care of their linemen. Could be a gold watch in their future if he becomes the leading rusher.
And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. He's going to air one out. Oh, what a catch there by Cooper. A big play here for Dallas. 56 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone.
Go, get out there, get out there.
On the counter, Elliott. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Give him maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer. And the offensive starters for Dallas.
It's so good to see big number 72, Travis Frederick, back in a Cowboys uniform. Remember, he missed all of last season with Guillain-Barré syndrome. And prior to that, he'd been to the Pro Bowl 4 straight times at center. And his return, a huge boost to the offensive line. Better to have him in uniform than coaching.
They follow up the 1st down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. We'll look now at our starting defense. They've had their trouble stopping the run, Charles. Currently 29th in the NFL in that department.
And when people talk about facing a challenge, they are certainly getting one in this ball game because they're facing the number 1 rushing unit in the NFL, which means this is going to be a contest they've got to be prepared for from the first snap.
On play action, Prescott. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Randall Cobb, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you get the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, and we've had that conversation with them prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Fitzpatrick to throw it. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Defensive. And DeMarcus Lawrence applied the heat. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they just...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. And his guys will... take over at the 30-yard line. So more problems here in this first quarter. Already 2 scores down, and here they give away the football.
And if I'm the head coach, I think it's time to start lighting a fire under some of these guys. Now, you have to do it within your personality. They can't perceive it as fake. But I'd go get after some guys because they don't look ready to play to me. They look flat, uninspired. It's time to get moving.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
On 2nd down, Elliott down to about the 22 here.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
Strip the ball. Strip that ball. Check.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. That one complete to Elliott. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play. A pretty sizable deficit here in the first quarter. This defense probably need to get off the field in those situations on third down.
And you and I both know in this huddle before that last third down play, that's exactly what they talked about. Let's make a play. Let's get off the field.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Boy, that's the kind of interception that can save a game right there. They're already down 2 scores. Huge play, slowing down what was going against them.
I was thinking the same thing. You get down 3 scores there at this stage, could be in for a long ball game. Following the interception here, Fitzpatrick. And down he goes. Fitzpatrick sacked. Leighton Vander Esch wreaking havoc with a sack.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a second down coming up. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. To throw is Fitzpatrick. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Fitzpatrick. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
A reminder, coming up later tonight, a lot of buzz about this game. The Browns, they've been doing some travel. Back-to-back primetime games for them. That is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And it's now 21-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
And it's player spotlight time, and we shine that spotlight on Ryan Fitzpatrick. And he has not really been able to have a lot of comfort back there in the pocket. Pressure's been coming at him a lot, hasn't it?
And they've got to figure out how to tamp down that pressure. How do they decrease it? Is it getting rid of the football quicker? You know, shorter drops? Maybe they do something different with their pass blocking and their protection schemes. Maybe you meet them on the line of scrimmage instead of retreating to try and protect your quarterback. They've got to figure something out, though, because you cannot let your guy get hit that much, not if you intend to win.
And I know they'd like to erase that video and those 4 sacks that they've seen so far. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Now a handoff for Drake. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On play action, Fitzpatrick. Rush coming, and he's taken down. DeMarcus Lawrence able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. After the sack on 1st down, Fitzpatrick. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Randy Gregory in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit.
Starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. Give him 8, maybe 9, but they're still left with a 3rd and long upcoming. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. DeMarcus Lawrence able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Here's Austin. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Zeke and the Cowboys ready to begin their next drive. He's over 40 yards here in the 2nd quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. The safety, Rashad Jones, brings him down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
From the 24, Prescott over the middle, Cooper with it. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it. Talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense.
After review of the play, the line on the field is reversed.
This challenge was initiated by the guys in New York. Taking a look at the play, less than 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, I'm sure the coach wanted to challenge it, so he's probably going to send the New York office a holiday card. A first down carry by Elliott. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On second down, it's Elliott. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Check back 54. We're going to 53. And watch the block. Watch twist.
On first and 10, Prescott. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys will extend their lead.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm more preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Wide open, it's Allen, complete. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1.
Check. Right, 80. Check. 55 to mine. I'm coming, baby. Woo!
Fitzpatrick on first down. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Randy Gregory picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again. This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
It's caught. Stills, right side. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Matt Hawk now, as he's on to punt for Miami. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
Mike 54. Watch the run.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. So we've come, and we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. This one taken from the 7. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first
Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. William Hayes, the pride of Winston-Salem State, coming in to drop him. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Pollard going to try the right side. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. This one to Jarwin over the middle. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, like hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. And they begin this drive in very precarious field position inside their own 5.
And remember, this is a defense that's already scored once in this game, so you've got to really take care and make sure that you're blocking these guys to try and wedge the ball out from the shadow of your own end zone. Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Fitzpatrick. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Sean Lee, the longtime vet, getting in and getting to the QB.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. They can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, if you bring in your tight end, keep him in, your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance. This offense really put themselves in a tough spot on 1st and 2nd down and needing long yardage to try and pick up a 1st down, and they ended up getting a great run. Explosive, picked up nice yardage. You don't expect to be in this situation on 4th down, but guess what? It all started with what happened on 1st and 2nd down. Really put them behind the 8 ball.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field, and they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And he gets it down to the 32. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. Cooper was the target there, and that'll bring up second down. But one thing's for sure, they're still taking their shots downfield, even with a big lead.
I think it's way too early to go into a shell, so I like what they're doing. Continue to take your shots. Continue to be aggressive. It's not their job to slow themselves down.
On second down, Prescott again. Throw right side, taken in by Gallup. 12 yards there and a first down.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance in guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in four-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Hey, we got to get this stop here.
Now Elliott. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott with his second touchdown of the game, fourth of the year. And the Cowboys continue to pour it on. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those two TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Now an open man. That's the tight end, Gesicki. It's complete. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Fitzpatrick gets this to Parker. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
We ain't giving up nothing today. Check 9.
First down, Fitzpatrick. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch.
And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Devontae Parker, his second touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins are in for 6. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that will shave one more off this lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
And he's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see a back just got to have a grin on his face every time his number is called, because he doesn't feel like there are going to be any lost yardage plays. Nothing but big-time positive runs.
Making the sideline grin as well. A big run that time by Elliott. 47 yards on the ground.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Here's Elliott, and inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
From the red zone now, Prescott. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Give the sack to Jerome Baker.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. On second down, it's Pollard. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Tackled that time by Jerome Baker out of Ohio State.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Play fake. Here's Prescott. And this is caught. It's Cooper. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
A drive that time of 6 plays. And it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
To throw, Fitzpatrick. And over the middle, this is Parker. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
On 1st and 10, Fitzpatrick. Allen has it, left side. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Here's Fitzpatrick. He finds Kalen Ballage, his running back. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Man, I got you. Man, I got you.
Fitzpatrick again. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Throwing Fitzpatrick. And he finds Stills complete. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fools.
Fitzpatrick now to throw on first down. Fighting to stay upright. But now he's swallowed up and taken down. Christian Covington busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
Exactly what they were.
And this is caught. Well, they get 1 back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team. But I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that will get him 1 closer. So that a 7-play, 80-yard drive, and it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
Let's go.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. I think this defense tired of seeing him run the football, and this D-line probably getting sick of the O-line as well.
And as I'm watching this, I'm thinking about a conversation I had with Adam Gase, the head coach of the Miami Dolphins in the offseason. He told me that he asked his running backs each week for their favorite runs. Give me your 3 top runs. And right now, you're seeing a guy that's probably using his top runs to great advantage in this game.
He is in a zone. A 20th carry here for Elliott. In on the stop, Mason Foster, who was 7th in the NFL in tackles a year ago.